Hello my friends, so I came across this video and it is called Trick or Truth, so I hope you enjoy.
Halloween. Where does it really come from?
It comes from Catholicism, but I'm gonna let you dig this hole a little deeper.
Why do we really celebrate it?
Because it's fun. Where are you going with this?
These are questions many people don't bother with or care to even know.
Or maybe they just simply don't care. Not everything is a conspiracy to corrupt the world in the minds of other people.
The word Halloween is derived from the term All Hallows' Eve, which occurred on October 31st, the end of summer in northwestern Europe. All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day, was the next day, November 1st. Therefore, Halloween is the eve of All Saints' Day.
Well, that didn't take very long. Yes, Halloween is the celebration of the evening of All Saints' Day.
But the truth is, while Halloween masquerades as childish fun and frolic, it's serious business in the occult world.
See, he's trying to conflate Halloween with the occult. Occultists do not celebrate Halloween as a holiday. They may celebrate it in the society or the community that they're a part of, but occultists come from a lot of different backgrounds. Some of them are pagan, some of them are not pagan, some of them are atheistic, some of them are not. They're actually theistic.
Witchcraft, Wicca, Satanism, and paganism believe on the night of Halloween, devils and spirits are unleashed.
No. In some pagan beliefs, the time at Samhain is when the veil between this world and the other world is at its thinnest. However, we should not be conflating Halloween with Samhain.
They perform their most hideous and potent rituals on the night of Halloween.
We do not perform our most hideous and potent rituals at Halloween, and I don't know what would be considered a hideous ritual, but even so, if somebody was going to perform a hideous ritual, it would be at a time that they thought was the most hideous. And as for a potent ritual, again, it really depends upon what the person was trying to accomplish would determine when was the most potent time to do this.
Halloween is in fact deeply rooted in the mystery religion of the occult elite of this world.
Wow, this video just took a real sharp left turn into the batshit crazy zone.
You're traveling through to another dimension. A dimension of not only paranoia and delusion, but of idiocy. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of pure ignorance. Your next stop, the batshit crazy zone.
Which stems from ancient Babylon.
Ancient Babylon? What does this have to do with Halloween? Nothing. It doesn't have anything to do with it.
It all began over 2,000 years ago among the Celts and their pagan priests called the Druids.
What began? You mean when Halloween began or when ancient Babylon began?
Many regard the Druids as the king of the occult.
No, during the time of the Druids, there was no concept of the occult to them.
This dark night is dedicated to the Celtic Lord of the Dead, symbolized by the horned god and the stag god.
The stag god Cernunnos just means horned one. And again, I don't know what this has to do with Babylon or Halloween. You are just stringing together random things and trying to make some kind of a word salad.
The ancient Druids celebrated 2 nights of the year, Beltane and Samhain. Beltane took place on May 1st and marked the birth of summer. Samhain occurred on November 1st and signified the death of summer. Samhain, a night celebrating death and hell, was the Druids' most important ritual.
Despite the confusing imagery that you're using and the spooky music, you are trying to appeal to the emotion of your audience, but you're showing a picture, you showed a picture of the ancient order of the Druids who were just kind of having fun during this video because they're all wearing fake beards like the stereotypical Druid. And you are also showing this image of Druids at Stonehenge, and the Druids, though they may have used Stonehenge, they had no They have no association with Stonehenge. Stonehenge was built by the ancient Britons way before the Druids.
It was a terrifying night of human sacrifices.
Calling Samhain a terrifying night of human sacrifice doesn't make it so.
The original Halloween. They celebrated Samhain or Halloween as a 3-day fire festival.
The Catholic celebration of All Saints' Day has more to do with the Roman pagan holiday of the Feast of Lemures, which took place on May 13th. Later, Pope Gregory III, around 731 AD, moved the Feast of Lemures from May 13th to November the 1st and turned it into All Saints' Day,
building huge bonfires in an attempt to ward off roaming demons. These same fires also provided the means to offer human sacrifices to the sun gods.
The term bonfire comes from about the 13th century, and it represents a large hot fire that was hot enough to burn something to the bones, possibly corpses or heretics.
The Druids believed during Samhain the mystic veil separating the dead from the living opened. They believed these roaming spirits were searching for a body to possess.
Even if the Celts did believe that these spirits were roaming around at this time of the night, why would they also choose this night to commit human sacrifice? It seems that if you committed a human sacrifice during the time when spirits could walk around freely, chances are that spirit that you just sacrificed would probably come after you.
The frightened Celts would masquerade as demons, evil spirits, and ghosts, hoping to convince the roaming evil spirits they were another evil spirit and leave them alone.
The Celts did not dress up as evil spirits or ghosts or demons. The idea of masquerading during Halloween is something that came about in America the late 18th to early 19th century.
The Celts also prepared meals as treats to appease the evil spirits from tricks or malicious acts, hence our custom of trick or treat.
No, this is false. The idea of feast or treats comes from the Roman celebration of the Feast of Lemures, where they used to offer cakes and pour milk out to the ancestors. It may have also evolved from the concept of soul cakes from the Middle Ages. During the Middle Ages, children would go around door to door and ask for cakes. In return, they would pray for the souls of the deceased. This became known as soul cakes or souling. The concept of tricks was another American innovation. During the early 18th century, kids, mostly young adults, would go around and commit pranks and do other mischievous things. This became a night of tricks. Later on, the idea of tricks or treats came about.
The Druids performed horrifying human sacrifices and other vile rituals during Samhain.
What horrifying human sacrifice? What vile rituals? What are you talking about, and what constitutes a vile ritual?
Samhain night was a terrifying, quote-unquote, covenant with death and with hell.
Quote-unquote covenant with hell and death. Who are you quoting, and what is the context of this quote?
It was believed to be a day that was in neither the year past or the year to come. Since it was in between, chaos ruled that day.
So now you're showing clips of a movie called The Purge, which has absolutely nothing to do with Samhain or Halloween.
Indeed, trick or treat, another Druid-inspired custom. Every year, children throughout the world dress up in costumes and go door to door in a ritual known as trick-or-treating, unaware that their innocent masquerade is actually the remnants of a Druidic religious practice from times most ancient.
As I mentioned earlier, the Druids did not come up with trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating is something that has evolved over time.
Halloween is among Satanism's most cherished days.
What? Your ignorance of Satanism, Druids, and paganism is embarrassing. First of all, there are different types of Satanists. And the Satanists who do celebrate Halloween probably celebrate it as more of a secular holiday than a religious holiday. And those who celebrate Halloween as a religious holiday celebrate it more on the pagan aspect of Samhain rather than Halloween. But I'm not a Satanist, so I could be wrong.
Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan and author of the Satanic Bible, writes, after one's own birthday, the two major satanic holidays are Walpurgisnacht, May 1st, and Halloween. Satanic High Priestess Blanche Barton on the Church of Satan website praises Halloween. Quote, it gives even the most mundane people the opportunity to taste wickedness for one night. They have a chance to dance with the devil. End quote.
I doubt this has anything to do with this movie, The Purge, but you keep showing clips of it so that your audience conflates The Purge with Halloween.
The Satanic calendar decrees for Halloween, quote, one of the most important nights of the year. Blood and sexual rituals, sexual association with demons, animal and human sacrifice, male or female, end quote.
Or where this particular document is from a sub domain within a domain of a website that deals with the Illuminati, UFOs, aliens, all kinds of bizarre stuff. Go in there with an extra thick tinfoil hat on.
And former occultist Joanna Michaelson reveals, quote, Halloween is also a prime recruiting season for Satanists, end quote, like the lambs to the slaughter, page 192.
Yes, because we're well aware on Halloween there's a Satanist on every corner handing out pamphlets.
So, since we know the ruling elite dabble in the occult to say the least, being that it is documented that they in fact gather once a year at Bohemian Grove for occult rituals to worship Moloch, the giant owl.
Yes, it's all one giant conspiracy and it all stems from Halloween.
Can we even begin to imagine what they might be up to on this most important day for the occult? Masks, masquerading, concealing oneself, this plays a huge role in their ideologies and activities. It has been documented that the elite Rothchilds banking family do actually partake in masked events, very similar to those shown in the film Eyes Wide Shut. The type of masks usually used by the elite are Venetian masks. Venetian masks were originally worn during the Italian Renaissance in Venice and were a way for the powerful elite of the time to indulge in debauchery without reprisal. These masks have been used in elite circles for quite some time and have somewhat become a symbol of its dark occult philosophy.
According to you, based on your paranoid imagination.
The British royal family partakes in the same type of masked events as well. The Rothschild banking mafia is a prime example of the secret world of the occult elite.
I am sure the Rothschilds engage in all kinds of weird parties.
On December 12, 1972, Marie-Helene de Rothschild held a surrealist ball at Chateau de Ferrieres, one of the family's gigantic mansions. While these events are usually extremely secretive, photographs of this particular ball were leaked on the web, and they are disturbing to say the least.
Disturbing? They're all dressed as surreal painters and surreal paintings. You want to know what's really disturbing? Is somebody who looks at the human figure and says, you know, we have to block that genitalia with a fig leaf. It's offensive. That's disturbing.
Indeed, behind the fun and games, the images revealed the underlying ideology and the mind state of the occult elite, and confirmed what many already believed. In short, it is just a tiny glimpse into the eyes wide shut culture of the elite. Indeed, the mansion was lit in red to make it appear as if it was on fire. And, interesting to note, this mansion was used to film scenes for the Roman Polanski film Ninth Gate. And, speaking of Eyes Wide Shut, guess what mansion the occult ritual party was filmed in?
An old building owned by a rich or royal family?
You guessed it, a Rothschild mansion built by Baron Mayer de Rothschild. From ancient Babylon, the mystery religion, and the...
All you did was mention Babylon. You made no connection to the Druids, the Celts, Samhain, Halloween, Beltane, masquerade balls, or anything.
Pagan rituals associated with it spread it to Egypt, Asia, North and South America, all over the world. It is now firmly entrenched in mainstream modern society.
What is entrenched in modern society? Halloween? Again, what does this have to do with Babylon or Egypt?
And so, since this day is considered to be the day of darkness and blood sacrifice to the occult, can we consider this day to be their purge?
No.
It is interesting to consider the programming of this film series, promoting the motto of letting loose and embracing your dark side to commit mass murder, all while wearing masks.
There are really only two religions that come to my mind when I think of mass murders and genocide. And these two religions are so well known for this that I don't even have to mention their name, and the majority of my audience already know which two religions I'm referring to.
You won't find it very often in the mainstream news, but the reality is that a lot of people have come forward with stories of what really happens on Halloween night.
A lot of people are just one person you mentioned.
The fact is, there is stuff going on out there that is absolutely unimaginable.
In your demented imagination, maybe. In reality, it's highly improbable.
In elite circles and otherwise. Many people do not want to acknowledge the real-life nightmares that happen during Halloween, but refusing to acknowledge them will not make them go away.
All you did with this video was string together random cultures, assert blatant lies, fabricate false straw men, and play spooky music while showing clips from the movie The Purge. You did not prove anything except that you are a paranoid, delusional idiot who will believe anything.
So, it's up to you. Trick or truth?
Thank you for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But in your dimension,